And what's up, everybody? We're back with another episode of the Live, Laugh, Left podcast. I am back with the new Garry, which is not Garry, it's Ann Pomeroy. And Pomeroy's back,
Hello,
as
my name is
promised.
Garry. I'm an Oklahoma gymnastics fan and a Penske fan. My name is Garry.
My name is Garry?
My name is Garry.
Garry will be here shortly. I didn't want to wait for him to wait. I didn't want to wait for him to eat at 7:30 p.m. So he'll be joining us shortly. As promised, Ann Pomeroy is here to talk about some of their experiences, sports-related lately, including South Bend Cubs and a couple of racetracks. So it should be a lot of fun. But we got a lot to cover this week as well. We got some football action to go over with the NFL schedule release. NBA and NHL playoffs update. The disaster that has been baseball action for all the teams across the board. And, of course, NASCAR and whatever the fuck happened there this week. So, should be a lot of fun. I do have trivia this week, but since Garry will be on shortly, we are going to wait for him to do the trivia. And actually, it does pertain to football. So, actually, we'll save it when we talk about football anyways. I guess we'll start off with NASCAR. Because here's the thing with NASCAR. So this was All-Star weekend.
Yeah.
Didn't even fucking feel like an all-star race. Number one, it has to be at night. It's not the 1980s anymore. You have to have this fucking race at night. Two,
They can't. The Dover doesn't have lights.
You can't have it at Dover. Don't have it at Dover.
Well, true, but they couldn't have had.
They were better. They would have been better off making the Dover race a regular 400 lap points race than whatever the fuck actually happened in the race, because the truck and Xfinity action was like not terrible, all things considered. It was all right. About what you expect for Dover standards. Trucks. Fuck, I forgot who won trucks. Wasn't any new winners. I only remember the new winners. That's why I forgot. Kyle Busch. Fucking Kyle Busch won the truck race because, he's so washed he can't even drive a cup car anymore, but he can go out and dominate in trucks. Xfinity action. Corey Day won for his second win of the season. And hard-charging Justin Allgaier was right behind him, but could not prevail.
Nice.
But then the cup race. Now, this is an instance where we knew it was going to be bad, but it was still worse than what we thought it was going to be.
Well, when Fox phones in everything, it's like, man, the best Fox race can only be so good. Best All-Star race can only be so good. The best Dover race can already be so good. So when you combine all those variables into one spot, especially the best Dover gets is those really long runs where you get lapse traffic, you get passes throughout the pack, and then those runs get artificially interrupted because it's a event like this where we gotta have a bunch of random cautions. And now you can say that stage racing as a whole is a problem in that respect, but it was, particularly in this race, it was
awful, right? And also, they tried to introduce the gimmick, reintroduce the gimmick of eliminating cars, after each segment. But that didn't really work because half the field crashed in the first 10 laps of the race because they couldn't figure what the hell they were doing.
And it's like, I understand, the heats are good. The heats are cool. Having an all-star event where I don't like Hendrick, I don't like Chase Elliott, but he needs to be in your all-star event to even justify calling it an all-star event. The way that you can even the fact that Chase Elliott or Kyle Larson or Denny Hamlin or whatever had a realistic chance of missing the all-star race and Cody Ware could race his way in is the race has served its purpose. The concept we're kind of over. It can be tossed away now. We can bring the Clash back to the Coliseum and have that be our own only exhibition race. Is where I'm at. We don't need the North Carolina races. We don't need this. Just give Dover a points race. Scrap the whole thing. It's the having 36 cars in from the start and then having it whittled down to kind of make the all-star field was, you're right, absolutely terrible decision.
Well, it was terrible because, again, half the field crashed. So drivers that didn't deserve to get that far got that far. I mean, fucking Ty Dillon was fighting for the top 5 at one point, right? Like, you can't have that in a fucking all-star race. It's Ty Dillon. He is never going to be an all-star. But also, what they failed to realize with
you are disrespecting in-season tournament runner-up Ty Dillon right now. Don't say he can't be an all-star.
Drew. But also,
there's been zero advertising about that too. By the way, it's in like a month and a half, and
because
we don't
nobody
know
cares.
I mean, I care, but no one advertises it.
Oh my
anyway,
God.
Sorry, do your thing. I just couldn't let the Ty Dillon hate go unnoticed.
What NASCAR failed to realize is why the elimination format worked the first time around in the 90s and 2000s was that not everybody was guaranteed a starting spot in the race. There was still the open or like the qualifier beforehand, and it was a smaller field of cars at the start.
And the other thing was that like segmented racing, stage racing was you know, a unique thing at the time. But I don't know the all-star formats of back in the day, but like, you know, 2010s when we were doing stage formats, it's like, okay, well, that's the only race where we're doing segmented stuff. And now it's like every race has segments in all 3 major series. So segments aren't special anymore. It's just like, why do this instead of a points race?
Well, and also, it wasn't just that the races was segmented. They had other things that were included in the segments. Either they inverted the field, or everybody had to make a 4-tire pit stop at the start, or something like that, which brought in that extra level of strategy. But also, like, Charlotte in the 2000s was like one of the best tracks on the schedule. The high horsepower package meant the cars like flew, and so when you let these guys loose for $1 million and nothing else, especially when it's again the best drivers in the sport at the time, which were walking legends, you put on a great product. But like you said, the All-Star race really as just a whole, no matter how they really space it, has just ran its course. I really think that there should be no All-Star race. You either make it a bye week or you give the whatever track was going to get it a points date, and that's it.
That's another thing that you brought up was $1 million is not what it used to be either when we started running this. It's like, and cash prizes aren't as stunning anymore. Even if they raised it to $2 million or whatever for inflation, that wouldn't be a big draw. The main proposal I've been seeing is like a multi-class event, like go to the Daytona road course or something and have Cup, O'Reilly, and trucks all racing around the same track for an all-star event. I have no idea how that would work.
That would be fucked up. That would be really
It sounds really interesting. I don't know that they could actually make it work, but it sounds cool. So I bring it up just to say that as like the only real proposal that I could get behind.
And NASCAR is not the only sport that I think has faltered with this. Like the NFL Pro Bowl is just a joke.
Yeah.
The NBA All-Star Game and the dunk contest, joke. The NHL All-Star Game, joke.
Well, that's why they're doing 4 nations and you know the Olympics and like there's, you know.
That's true. The only like
they kind of replaced it, you know.
Oh, Gary's here.
Look who decided to join us.
The only all-star thing that I think has really held its course is the MLB Home Run Derby. Not the All-Star Game, the Home Run Derby. I love watching the Home Run Derby.
Well, people complain about it being on a timer versus being on outs like back in the day too. So trust me,
because
everyone will find something to complain about.
They're throwing a 60-mile-an-hour meatball down the middle. Of course, the best hitters in the planet are not going to swing and miss at that.
You never know. Marley Green would.
Because Marley Green would not participate in the Home Run Derby, because that's my MLB strikeout leader.
Hello, George.
Hello.
Anything you want to say about the All-Star race?
Fucking trash.
Pretty much.
There was one good thing from the Dover race. It's the last Fox race of the season. So we can say bye-bye to Fox.
Bye-bye.
It was probably their worst. Well, I guess Watkins Glen was their worst race of the season, but
Yeah.
Dover was not very much better. I mean, you have Mike Joy dropping the green flag, and Kevin Harvick and Clint Boyer are in the booth, dead silent, and then Kevin Harvick starts rambling on about his Gen Z antics of his children.
Well, I think Talladega was pretty bad because I think they spent more time in commercial on the first two stages of Talladega than out of it.
I didn't watch it, but I heard it was bad.
It was, oh my gosh. They would come back for literally like 3 minutes and then go back to commercial because they were trying to have a commercial-free final stage, but the first two stages were so ass that I turned it off. So, look at that, Fox. I don't know. They're phoning it in, and they're very clear that they're phoning it in at this point. So, we've got Amazon coming up. The greatest day in motorsports coming up. There's a bright future ahead. Even if not for my guy who's crashed out of 5 races in a row now. But it's an even year, man. He'll make the chase. He'll win like 6 out of the 10 chase races, and he'll be fine.
True.
Yeah.
Or suck
Trust me, bro.
Or suck the official's dick and just, win the championship that way.
Oh yeah, it's rigged for Penske. I forgot about that part of the competition.
Except Ryan Blaney.
That's IndyCar, not NASCAR.
Also,
anything
Amazon
else you
puts
want
on
to say
good
on
broadcasts. So,
anything else you want to say on NASCAR? I think we kind of covered the same things everyone was saying about it, which is that it wasn't very good.
Yeah, that was Dover. The only other thing that I had NASCAR news related in general, Catherine Legg is going to be attempting the double this weekend. She got a last minute entry into the IndyCar in the Indy 500, and she's also going to run the Coke 600. Literally, all she has to do is cross the finish line in both races, and she'll have done better than Kyle Larson. So please,
hell yeah,
just all she has to do is ride in the back, finish 33rd in the Indy 500, finish 38th in Cup or whatever the fuck the field size is going to be.
Yeah,
all she has to do is just cross the finish line.
She can win both.
Or she could win both and break sports continuity forever, which would be awesome.
I don't even know what would happen if she won the Indy 500. Would they be so urgent about like flying her down to Charlotte, or would they just keep her there to do the milk and all that?
I think
it's a 78. It's an open car. It doesn't matter.
But I feel like we're getting ahead of ourselves here. She's not going to win either race, but
you never. No. Don't. You never know. J.R. Hildebrand was one turn away, so you never know. It's possible.
And what did he do? Hit the wall.
And what did Dale Jr. do the very same night in the same
out of gas because NASCAR rigged it because
NASCAR rigged it against their most popular driver.
Jeff Burton and Brad Keselowski crashing on the restart should have been a caution that would have allowed Earnhardt to pit, and then we wouldn't be talking about this. But you know what?
Quit yapping.
What are we gonna do about it now?
What's the next topic, Tyler? What's the next topic?
We'll stick to racing and allow Ann to talk about part 1 of their new sports experiences before we get to the rest of it today. And then I'll do my trivia.
Cool. Well, I've got 2 racetracks that I went to on 2 consecutive days. The first one, Boilers. Tyler's going to go there in 10 days. He's going to have a vlog.
9 days?
And racetrack reviews.
9 days?
No, it's on the 29th, right?
Yeah, but
10 days.
Uploaded on Wednesdays. This is a Wednesday.
Oh, well, fine. 9 days from whenever you losers watch this. I'm looking over my notes right now. Kalamazoo Speedway, in Alamo, Michigan, legally. That kind of
the Alamo. We're going to the Alamo.
No.
Let's go.
It's the town is technically called Alamo. It's a tiny place with 3 gas stations and a Subway.
Let's go Subway.
And Tiki Ying.
We're going.
It was a pretty interesting facility. They had bleachers pretty much all the way around from the entrance to turn 3 to kind of middle of 1 and 2. Those in the middle of 1 and 2 went really, really high. Those in turn 4 got some good shade. Honestly, along the front stretch, people like to sit there because it's along the front stretch near the start finish line. But there were some obstructed views and some, didn't go up very high. So I didn't choose to sit there, but a lot of people did. Beautiful night. Sunset was really easy to see. Got a nice view high up above the trees. Super cool. The actual racing, not my favorite. There was only one real fast division. The rest of it was like street stocks and 4-wheel drives and like pretty boring, all things considered. So like one really good feature, and a couple like kind of duds. But it was a beautiful night, and I enjoyed basically all the seats I sat in. Very nice facilities in terms of like the bathrooms compared to what you see at some short track facilities. Felt like I was at like the Four Seasons Hotel compared to what I normally see at short track bathrooms. Individual stalls, individual urinals, cleaned like my mom was in there. Oh my, incredible. Good concession options. They had steak on a stick. I didn't get that. But that's like their signature item there.
They had what now? Dick on a stick?
Steak on a stick.
Oh, steak on a stick. I heard dick on a stick.
Yes.
That's where my mind's at.
No, that's a corn dog. They had those too. They had a lot of luxury boxes. I'm actually, one of my students has a luxury box, and that's pretty interesting. They told me about it. They're nice, but they do obstruct some of the views, like down the front stretch, like we said. Nice score ticker. Top 20 is visible. Yeah, those are all like suites. You can buy a suite for the season or for a race.
Suite when we go.
I think it's only for like season ticket holders or sponsors or whatever. We'll have to see.
Season ticket holder then.
Yeah. I would have had to do that already, I think. But great views all around. Plenty of great places to see the whole track. What else am I trying to say on Kalamazoo Speedway? Yeah, nice facilities, great announcing. Except for this one guy who was like, every time someone came by on the outside, they'd be like, "Number 4 has entered the chat." I thought that was funny. But other than that, I mean, very nice facility. Kind of definitely in the top half, top third maybe in like terms of just facilities. But the weekly racing here isn't the best. You may go on to the other one or leave it at that for a second.
No, sure, keep going.
Okay. The other one was about 40 minutes south of Kalamazoo, almost at the border with Indiana. Russell's M40 Speedway. Now, this place was insane and truly does not make me think highly of the people that reside in Cass County, Michigan. First things first, only $10, and they gave me a physical ticket, which Tyler doesn't like. He wants all your tickets to be delayed mobile delivery.
Can they make racing great again?
Yeah, that's their slogan. This was $10, which is not bad for a night of weekly racing. Usually around 15.
Gotta make racing great again. Only physical tickets.
Oh yeah. Oh, and they sold red hats with that on it. Don't you worry.
Oh boy.
This is country bumpkin levels of even for short tracks. This is country bumpkin.
Why are we going there?
We're not because they race on Saturday.
I don't want to go there anymore. Before you even talking, I was like, oh, maybe I could actually go. Nope, not anymore.
No.
They'll
it was very interesting.
Shaky shakes.
I should say, Kalamazoo Speedway was 3/8 of a mile. It was pretty banked in the turns, slightly banked on the straightaways too. So they ended up going pretty fast, but it was a symmetrical.
Less banked than Owasso Speedway.
I think it was more banked than Owasso. I'd have to look at.
Oh damn, that's pretty high bank then.
But at least in the turns, it felt like a pretty high bank and pretty short straightaways. Straightaways had a little bit of curve to them too.
What is Garry doing? Why are you counting your money on camera? People are gonna rob you now.
But this place, M40, was like a weird tri-oval shape. Like it was a tri-oval, but it wasn't symmetrical. Like there was a long backstretch, a turn 3, kind of a shallow turn 4. It's like a phoenix shape. Phoenix is how it's shaped, actually. Like backstretch, kind of a big wide turn, a dog leg, a straightaway to turn 1, a big turn 1 down the backstretch. Phoenix is what it's shaped like. So in terms of the actual racing, it was really interesting to see like the layout. You could really make it stick on the outside in turn 3. You cut back to the inside down that longer front stretch after you cross the line. 1 and 2 were really interesting, kind of where I was sitting. I got an elephant ear. I always like getting those at stadiums when I see them. The concessions are pretty interesting. Later on, I got $3. You bought me like 10 mozzarella sticks, which was crazy.
That's wild.
So nice concessions. The racing was, like I said, really interesting. The track layout just made for a really interesting like set of lines. So I'd really like that bit of it. There were multiple lengthy red flags. This was supposed to start at 6 and started at 6:45, went till 11:30 because of lengthy red flags in a couple different places. 2 cars in the first feature tried to wreck each other on purpose. This led to a red flag to not only get both of the cars off the track, but when this happened, like 20 different people leaped out of their seats, ran down through these 2 big grandstands, and started trying to fight each other. And then, of course, everyone over in turn 4 near the kind of the pit open area tries to do the same. Like get in there and at least observe what's happening.
Legendary.
Also, because of where they are, they're blocking the spot where they like the opening where the safety truck needs to go. So they can't actually get the cars off the track because they have to like the PA people are begging to these people to disperse and they can't because they're all fighting. This ended up happening a second time. In the later feature, 2 cars wrecked each other 3 times in the same race. I think the first couple were unintentional, and then they just kind of like Allison Yarborough style, like didn't want to let go and wrecked each other. So that was great. Another big red flag for that. Red flag also because someone was leaking oil on the track and they had to put down the like oil speed dry, whatever. Just took forever, but nicer diversity in terms of the features. Lots of heats, lots of features, lots of racing for your $10 ticket. The street stock race was incredible. 25 laps, green all the way. Like top 4 were switching the lead every lap. That was an incredible race. The rest of them were pretty good, worth your ticket, but you are among the greatest people in Cass County when you go. That's all I'll say. Anyway, worth it. Worth going. Worth seeing it and experiencing the layout's really interesting, like I said. But yeah. All aboard, make racing great again.
All right, we got to do. I don't think Garry has the poker chips this week. He does not. We're still going to make selections, though, because we're all here. Before we end off on the racing segment.
When I get back, I will for sure update the poker chip victory and whatever, because I don't even remember what we picked. But I do have them out, so when I get home, I'll check what we picked, and then I'll update it on here, and then the next podcast I'll talk about it.
My selection, I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna pick the funny pick and pick Catherine Legg to win the double.
I'm gonna pick Alex Palou to win the Indy 500. Are you shocked that I'm picking Alex Palou to win a race?
No.
Alex Palou is actually really good.
Yeah, he wins everything. So Why wouldn't he win this back to back?
Come to NASCAR, you won't win shit.
I don't think that's true.
I'm gonna go with William Byron.
To win the Indy 500?
Oh, Indy 500. Willpower.
Well, there you go. Williams win both. I don't know. Who should win the Coke 600? It'll probably be Chase Elliott. Feels like he's due to get the siren on a crown jewel race.
No, he had his chance.
That's my prediction.
He had his chance in a fateful race in 2020 and
blow some shit up.
His fuck ass crew chief decided to pit. All right, anyway, that's it for NASCAR stuff. We'll finally get off of that, and we'll jump into today's trivia because that'll jump into our next segment of sports. This is a football related trivia, sort of. It's very, 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 very stretching it with calling it football trivia. But here we go.
All right.
Al Michaels left ABC for NBC in 2006. What did ABC get in return for his departure? I don't think it was an official trade, but they did get something back.
They got something back?
When Al Michaels went to NBC, and ABC got something in return.
Give me, was it a broadcaster? Was it like broadcasting rights to something? Was it money? Narrow it down a little bit.
It was not a broadcaster. I will say that. It was not a broadcaster. It was not a broadcaster for broadcaster trade. If you get this, I will be shocked. It's not what you're thinking.
And if it's football related, how about NFL draft coverage? It's football related, but very loosely related to football. That's my guess. ABC got the NFL draft. I have no idea. It's probably some random bowl game.
That's fine. It's your guess, Gary. Gary, what's your guess?
Even worse broadcasting.
You both are incorrect.
Yeah.
So here's the answer. They got the rights to Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, an old Disney cartoon.
Okay, so there was no chance.
That's what I said. I would have been very shocked.
No chance also that it relates to football. What's the relation other than Al Michaels does football? Al Michaels.
That is the relation. That is the relation. That's why I said it was extremely loose.
But football is big sport, but he's also done all the other sports under the sun. He was Miracle on Ice. That was him.
That is true.
He wasn't on the ice. He was commentating it for the United States. Okay, I had no chance. I don't feel bad about that.
Okay, well, we're going to jump into football now. There's got a few things to go over. Number one, the NFL schedule is out for the 2026 season. Not really going to break down every single game on the schedule, but I thought it would be good to highlight the Lions' schedule. They got royally fucked over by the NFL yet again with their schedule. They have a week 6 bye, which is way too early for a bye week for any team. But also B, they got a terrible stretch in the month of November where they have 3 games in 11 days, including their Germany game. So they start out week 10 on November 15th in Germany playing the Patriots. Then they come home to play the Bucks the next week. And then they have their Thanksgiving game against the Bears. What a terrible fucking draw. So you know what the fuck's going to happen. The entire fucking team's going to be on IR again by week 8 because that's what the fuck happens all the fucking time. The rest of these are whatever. I mean, they open at home against the Saints. Should be a pretty easy win there. The Saints are terrible. Then they go on the road to the Bills for Thursday Night Football. That'll be the first game for the Bills at their new stadium, so we're probably going to lose that one. But that's fine. Then we come home again to play the Jets. Should be an easy win. Panthers on the road could be that's a Sunday night football game. That could be bad. Could not be bad. I think that's a winnable game though. At the Cardinals. At the Cardinals, that should be a win. Home against the Packers, that should probably be a win, but that'll be a close one. Vikings at home, again, probably going to be a close one, but they should win that. At the Dolphins, that should be a win. Then they have their Germany game. Wouldn't be surprised if they lose that. Home against Tampa Bay, probably going to lose that one because they'll be coming off of the Germany game. And then the Bears on Thanksgiving. The Bears love to fuck off themselves on Thanksgiving, so I'm going to say we're going to win that. And then the Falcons on the road, that should be a win. Titans at home, that should be a win. Vikings on the road, that's another Sunday night game. Probably going to be a loss. Giants at home on Monday Night Football, I'm going to call that a win. At the Bears, and then at the Packers to end the season, probably split that road trip. Is my prediction. So I guess what does that make my record prediction? I wasn't trying to make a record prediction, but I guess I did. Let's see, 1-0, 1-1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 6, 6-3, 6-4, 7-4, 8-4, 9-4, 9-5, 10-5. All right, I'm predicting 11-6 based off of that.
Oh, they're missing the playoffs, so it doesn't matter. Whatever record they have to meet the playoffs. The schedule people rigged it against Detroit just to give them a harder path. That's all I have to say because that's how the world works.
Well, the Lions got a fourth place schedule, but they can never have anything good. So of course that has to be the worst scheduled fourth place schedule of all fucking time. So
of course it's rigged. It's Detroit versus everybody. Am I right?
It is.
Clearly. Yeah, that
it is.
Your team in particular is being persecuted. I don't have anything in particular. I think the Bears will fuck up Thanksgiving. That would be my prediction. But no, I think they go like 9-8, but that's not enough or something. I don't know. I don't know enough about the Lions. I just don't think they're gonna make it again. And 2023 will be looked back on like the beam team as what could have been.
True.
Anyway, I'm sorry. I've played that bit out a little bit. I really just don't know anything about the schedule, and so I can't do a meaningful contribution.
Gary, do you have anything to say about the Lions schedule or the NFL schedule in general?
I'll be fucking happy if the Lions actually have a winning record. Honestly, I'm at this point where if they get a winning record, I don't even care anymore. I will take it. Because that NFC Championship game that we had a couple years ago, if we would have not have screwed up every single goddamn play, we probably would be having a Super Bowl appearance right now. But guess what? Dan Campbell just likes to go foot down in conversions every single fucking chance he gets. And I'm sick and tired of this bullshit. And then last year he said, I'm going to take over the offense and I'm probably going to do a little bit better after destroying a certain team. Bro, you weren't even facing the great team, being Seattle and Patriots that year. You didn't even face them that year, so how can you say you're going to be offensive coordinator too?
Yeah, there's a lot of things the Lions have to fix. They had a good draft, so I think that's going to be hopeful, but obviously players can't play well if you can't coach them, right? Talking to you, Danny Campbell.
And we all know Tyler ain't winning fantasy football for the third straight year.
That is true. I can't wait to win the league again.
You aren't, because there's going to be more people, so good fucking luck.
Yeah, like Aunt Pomeroy?
I'm not playing fantasy football.
Nope.
The only other, I had a couple other things for the NFL, nothing for college football. The Steelers are bringing back Aaron Rodgers on a 1-year deal.
Aaron Rodgers, the Jeopardy host?
It is so funny.
Didn't Aaron Rodgers beat your team last year?
He wasn't in that game. Doesn't count.
Nope.
Fair enough.
The Lions lost because a fan rigged the game by getting ejected from the stadium.
That was that game?
It was.
Oh, yeah, because DK Metcalf, right?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. That was well, I wouldn't say it's hilarious. It's unfortunate that DK Metcalf was called the N-word at his place of residence, or place of employment. But also, that fan earned it.
Employment. So that means the
Well,
Steelers...
it's his job.
That means the Steelers are going to suck ass again. So that's going to be funny as fuck to watch. Don't know why they decided to bring it back. Don't know why Aaron Rodgers said yes. You have more money than you could ever figure out what the hell to do with, so why don't you fucking retire? But no, apparently not. And then they announced who's hosting the 2030 Super Bowl. It's going to be for the first time ever, Nashville will host the Super Bowl with the new stadium that the Titans are getting soon. Or I guess it'd be the remodeled stadium. I think it's still the same, like, land. Just they're redoing it.
Yeah, after 3 straight back-to-back-to-back same Super Bowls. Literally.
Yeah, so that'll be good. I guess. I mean, you could very well see. I know the other two that are probably going to get their first ever Super Bowls coming up soon. Chicago. Chicago is probably going to get one with their new stadium in fucking Garry, Indiana. And then Cleveland. Cleveland's trying to put in a bid for the Super Bowl, but the NFL came out and just straight up said no, not because of the stadium itself, but because they don't have enough hotels. They don't have the hotel capacity to accommodate the fans. So, fuck off, Cleveland. You're moving to the suburbs, and it doesn't even matter. So there's that. That's all I had for football action, though.
I don't think I had much either. No, nothing college related that I could think of either.
Let's do hockey next. Don't have a whole lot to say regarding hockey. Just gonna update the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Habs bandwagon over here.
Let's take a look at the
second favorite team.
So, last time we talked, one spot in the conference finals had been filled. The rest of them are now filled. The Avalanche beat the Wild 4-1. The Golden Knights beat Anaheim 4-2. And Montreal beat Buffalo in 7 games, winning in overtime, to eliminate the Cinderella Story Sabres 4-3. So that makes your conference finals. The Avalanche and the Golden Knights over in the West. And in the East, Montreal and Carolina. Please, Carolina, win so that we don't see a Canadian Stanley Cup again.
No, Montreal is the least evil out of these 4 teams, and the only one in a city that deserves hockey. I mean, Carolina's going to wallop them. I expect that series to go probably 5 games. Carolina's just way better, but no, Montreal is the least bad of these 4 teams. Between Vegas, no, Raleigh, no, Denver, I guess maybe, but none of those teams are likable, especially being as fan of the Western Conference team. But I don't know. At least Rod's got Michigan State going for him. That's cool. Anyway, my expert analysis would be Colorado wins in 6, Carolina wins in 5, and that's your Stanley Cup final matchup.
assessment. Fair assessment. Gary, I see you put a piece of news in here too that you would like to go over for NHL.
Did I? I don't even remember.
This was a while ago. Well, actually, no, it was 3 days ago.
Oh, yeah. The Vegas Golden Knights have been stripped of their second round pick in this year's draft, with Coach John Tortorella also receiving a $100,000 fine for flagrant violations of the NHL Stanley Cup playoff media regulations, the league announced Friday. Let me just say, I hate that coach with a burning fucking passion. He ruined the Red Wings' chance to end the streak of a playoff drought. I will say that to the day I die. And I know for a fact, after I'm done talking, Anne's going to say something about that. I have a strong feeling. But just think, he took out a fucking goalie when it was 1-1 against the Capitals. Against the Capitals, you're tied 1-1, and you take out the goalie. How stupid can you be? But I never hated the Vegas Golden Knights, so I just feel bad for Vegas. I don't feel bad for that guy. That guy should be fired. But you know what? He's not gonna be, because he's in the playoffs and he's doing that. So, but fuck him.
True.
All right.
All right.
I won't say anything, Garry.
That's all I had for.
Is that all for? I have one more thing. Griffins are down 2-0 in their series against the Chicago Wolves. It's a best of 5. Game 3 is tonight. Looks like in Chicago. So we'll see if they can get out of that.
They really dropped 2 in Grand Rapids. What the fuck are we doing?
They were literally on my way back from a place I was going. They were up 3-1 going into like the third period, and then they lost in overtime.
That's ridiculous.
Well, I guess that's not great for your hopes of seeing Grand Rapids and Wilkes-Barre Scranton play each other in the finals. But Wilkes-Barre Scranton is, or I don't even know if I'm pronouncing the town correctly. But the Penguins are up 1-0 in Game 3. Their series is tied 1-1 against Springfield. So yeah, keep that in mind. But the Griffins have their season on the line tonight. Could go home. They got to win 3 in a row if they want to stay alive.
I have one more piece of news for ECHL at least.
All right.
Well, it's 2, but technically 1 on the topic of ECHL. So one is that the Jacksonville Icemen are the new affiliate of the Minnesota Wild for the ECHL. Main reason why is the Iowa Heartlanders have are officially gone. So yeah, that's very, very scary.
Why is it scary?
Because of the fact that Jacksonville has a lot of good players from Minnesota now that were on Iowa. And now where is Jacksonville's old affiliate going to get their stuff?
Who was Jacksonville's old affiliate?
I believe it was Tampa.
Well,
Tampa was Orlando, right?
Tampa can
Hold
go.
on, let me
Tampa
double.
can go suck my asshole. So there's that.
It was. I thought it was Columbus for some reason. Because they were the ones that were without it. Let's figure that out.
I'm looking
they were.
that up
This is
right
the
now.
old. This is the old Muskegon Lumberjacks. I had no idea.
They are. Yep.
Wow.
Former Muskegon Lumberjacks.
They were the Sabres for the last couple years with Rochester and Buffalo. Um, before that, they were the Rangers. Before that, they were with Winnipeg. So, the Rangers will have to, or the Sabres have to figure something out. But
Now,
considering there's who is it, moving to Trenton now? Maybe they can pull from that.
they have Trenton and they have New Mexico coming in next year. So that's also what I was going to pop up. New Mexico and Trenton are coming up. So maybe one of them can.
Yeah, Trenton could fill in
around.
with the Sabres fine. Or switch to New Jersey and then figure that out.
Or they'll add an NBA franchise to Kalamazoo, and then you will.
Did you see that headline, Gary? The Blazers owner said they consider moving to Nashville, Austin, or Kalamazoo.
Who? Hold on. Who?
It's not the Portland Trail Blazers owner. He meant to say Timbuktu, as in anywhere but Portland. But one of the 3 cities he listed was Kalamazoo, Michigan. So there's a Photoshop out there somewhere of Damian Lillard in a Kalamazoo jersey.
I want to move to Nashville, Austin, Kalamazoo.
Hey, we're gonna have to.
There's a new arena.
Kalamazoo basketball jersey.
I'm
We're gonna have to get a
sure.
Kalamazoo basketball
I'm sure
jersey.
they could make that new arena like really nice for an NBA team if they really wanted to. But
I mean, it's gonna be like 6,000 seats.
That's
so.
wrong.
Well, that's
The
more
only
than the
thing that's wrong with
Trailblazers
that
get on a
is-
nightly basis.
One, that, but also you gotta realize Kalamazoo. You guys may think it's huge. It's really not that huge.
It's moderately
yeah,
sized.
there's a college
do-
here. There's Kalamazoo Wings. There's the Kalamazoo Growlers. There's a lot of Kalamazoo stuff, but it's not big. Like the city's big, yes, but it ain't like Detroit big or Portland big or all of that. I mean, that stadium is practically for like it'll look exactly like Toledo's. Like Tyler, it'll look exactly like Toledo's. I bet you right now, just better because we're better than Toledo.
Drew. Personally,
fuck Toledo.
having visited both arenas, Toledo's is better. Thank you.
You visited the Kalamazoo Event Center?
The Wings Event Center, yes.
Because
The Kalamazoo Event Center you have not been to yet.
What the hell?
I guarantee it. That's
That-
the new
I-
one. That's what we're talking about right now.
Well, it
The
doesn't
new one.
exist yet, so it doesn't
Exactly.
count.
So you can't say you've been to both. Idiot.
Tyler, you are not getting what me and Ann are saying.
I'm not. I'm really not.
You just want to dream about the Kalamazoo Trailblazers, which, to be fair, I do too.
I think that would be just incredibly funny.
I'd change. I'd stop supporting my favorite team, the Sacramento Kings, if they moved someone to Kalamazoo.
I just think
I wouldn't.
I mean, for the love of God, if Memphis can get an NBA franchise, so can Kalamazoo. Okay.
We can get a G League franchise. We can get them. We can convince the Motor City Cruise to move out of Wayne State's building and over to Kalamazoo. Wouldn't that be nice?
The Motor
Give
City
me a
Crews
second.
have a higher chance
my-
of moving into Little Caesars Arena than they do moving to Kalamazoo. Though
I
that I
have
think
to
that
tell
would be
my
really
sister
funny.
what you guys just said. I have to tell my
We can take the Grand Rapids Gold.
He's
Bye,
gone.
Gary.
He's gone. Okay,
We're done with hockey, right? We're just yapping at this
we're
point.
done. We're done with hockey. That's the whole point of a podcast.
Okay,
just to
that's what I
yap
thought.
around. Oh boy. Now we're gonna move on to baseball, and here's some goody two shoes baseball stuff. So the Tigers are in free fall. They're still in free fall.
They're in a bad spot.
They're in doing fucking terrible. First off, Tarek Skubal is coming back earlier than expected. I think we talked about that last week. He's supposed to come back
Mhm.
earlier than expected. But still no update on Justin Verlander. They might as well just end his season at this point. Like, there's no progress being made on his rehabilitation at all. Jack Flaherty has avoided the injury bug, but I kind of wish he'd get injured because he sucks ass. And Framber Valdez just came off of IR, or not came off IR, he came off a suspension, and he's ass. So our entire pitching core is either hurt or bad. Great. How is that correlated to their on-field performance? Well, they lost.
Whoa. You're ignoring Kyler Montero. He's neither bad nor injured.
Yeah,
he's been the bright spot of the stretch so far, in my opinion.
Bright spot. He only pitches 3 innings.
Yeah. Listen, just put some respect on that man's name is all I'm saying. But yes, you're right. They're tied in the bottom of the 6th with Cleveland 3-3.
Yeah, we'll check
maybe
on
a chance to break the streak. But you never know.
We'll check on that in a minute. They lost to the Mets in their first game of their series, 10-2. Then they lost to the Mets 3-2 in 10 innings. Then they lost again 9-4 to get swept by a shitty Mets team. The Mets are ass this year. The Tigers got swept by them. Then I came into town. Yes, folks, I have been to a couple Tigers games since the last episode. The first one was the first game of their series against Toronto. On so-called rivalry weekend. Tigers Blue Jays is not anywhere close to a rivalry unless you are above the age of 45. So let's just be real here. But that was a good game. It was a lot of fun. I always just love going to Comerica Park. I was down there for a couple times this weekend because of some work stuff that I won't get into here because it's work stuff. But I was down there like, you know what, fuck it. I'll get tickets to these Tigers games while I'm down there. And it was a good time. The Tigers put on a pretty good show. Was a tight game all throughout. The Tigers only had one shitty inning pitching, and that was the second inning when the Blue Jays got a couple of runs, and then the Tigers kind of came alive on offense near the end of the game, and got a walk-off hit from Spencer Torkelson himself with a walk-off single to beat the Blue Jays 3-2. So that was a lot of fun. I had a good time at that game. Always love going to Comerica Park. Then they proceeded to blow ass the rest of the series. They lost to the Blue Jays 2-1 in 10 innings. And then they lost to the Blue Jays again to lose the series 4-1. Folks, that makes 4 straight series losses for the Tigers. And things did not get much better as the opponent changed, even though they stayed home. And I was back in town Monday to see their next game against Cleveland. And, things got off to a pretty good start. Valdez threw a couple good innings to start, and the Tigers got a run on the board thanks to Riley Green having a 2-for-2 night with also a hit by pitch and a walk. So, really, really good night for Riley Green. Thankfully for Cleveland, he was the only player to show up for the Tigers, as everybody else combined for, I think, 3 hits. So, just lovely. Just lovely. And in Cleveland, then Framber Valdez had threw a couple bad innings, and he just got completely rattled and completely shit the bed. And you think the bullpen did better? No, they didn't. The bullpen's ass. The bullpen's worse than they were in the playoffs, or like 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Where the fuck it's been? I don't remember how fucking long it's been. So they lost to Cleveland. Oh, shit. My water bottle. They lost to Cleveland 8-2. The only highlight of the game was Matt Vierling did something productive and hit a home run. Which was a shocker because Matt Vierling is normally an immediate out. But not this time. Also, it poured rain before the game. It was delayed 40 minutes. And I got absolutely drenched running from my car to the game. Ran through like ankle deep puddles. My clothes were soaked the whole night. My shoes are still wet, I think. And it was miserable. I ended up pulling what I usually do when it rains at NASCAR races, and I took my shoes off and then just had my socks out to dry, during the game, and then I would put my shoes back on when my socks got dry, and then they would soak up some water from my shoes, and then took my shoes off again and repeated the process, and that made it a little bit more tolerable. But now my feet hurt, so that's good. I also had some really good seats in the upper deck, so that was fun. And I got on the Jumbotron the first game against the Blue Jays. Second time I did not get on the Jumbotron because it rained, but what are you gonna do? But I had a good time. I'll probably be out there a few more times this summer. We're going at least one more time.
One more time.
In August, but I might be going back out there myself 2 or 3 more times this summer. On top of that, and I'm also, of course, seeing them on the road in Chicago when they play the Cubs, so I'm excited about that. In July, so that should be fun. But yeah, it's a grim situation for the Tigers, because like, who's gonna? They have no compatibility on their entire freaking roster anymore, and it's just not good. Currently, they are.
It's not a great spot.
No, it's not. Currently, they are tied with Cleveland in the second game of the 4-game series. It is 3-3. Top of the 7th, Cleveland's got a man on with 1 out, man on third. Currently, Tyler Holton's in the game.
That was a good sign.
That is a good sign. So cool. Awesome.
How was your food?
Food was fine. The first game I had a smash
Oh,
burger.
Cleveland just scored. Sorry, Cleveland just scored. 4-3.
The first game I had a smash burger with fries because I didn't want pizza, and everything else was too expensive for not enough food. And it was honestly pretty good. The burger was a little smaller than the wrapping proposed, but it was not bad. It was a double smash burger as well. And the fries were actually really good. Some really good seasoning on there. So that was pretty good. And then for the same price as the burger and fries with a pop, I got a whole Little Caesars pizza the second time with a pop. Literally, I think it was almost the exact same price, or maybe a few cents off. But it really wasn't a whole pizza. It was like a fucking personal pizza, 4 deep dish slices. It was filling. It was definitely more food than the burger and fries, but not what you would consider a whole pizza. So what are you gonna do? I was gonna try some of that. There's a barbecue place out in left field that I was gonna try, but it doesn't really have any covering to it, and it was pouring rain, so I didn't do that. Maybe next time. I'll try the barbecue place because they have some good looking food. But that is that. And yes,
There you go.
I did make sure to log both those events and more on sportslogbook.com.
Oh, and Purdue unblocked me, so I can shill his service now.
All right, that's it for the Tigers. I don't want to talk about their depressing asses anymore. Garry, take it away.
Which one would you like me to do first? MSU baseball or Lansing Lugnuts or Kalamazoo Growlers?
Should I do Lansing Lugnuts?
Okie dokie, I'll do Lansing Lugnuts. So, let me just remind you guys, they are currently in a game right now when we're recording this. They are facing Lake County this series. Let me just tell you, I was going to get on after the game. Let me just say I'm glad I got on now because the score right now is in the bottom of the 7th in a delayed game because of rain. The score is right now Lansing 1, Lake County 14. Most likely, if this game gets canceled, they're just going to give it to Lake County. I don't even care anymore. And then I have to watch it at 11:05 a.m. tomorrow. Just to probably see them lose again. But recently, the Lansing Lugnuts went to face Quad City. Let me just say, Quad City has a beautiful stadium. I worked for 4 games against Quad City.
I saw you at one.
This series was not in
Yeah.
Quad Cities, by the way. It was in Lansing.
Right, yes. It was in Lansing.
I also worked one of the games. I was there for the last game
Yeah.
of the series.
But I
was lazy and I watched one of the games.
No
But
side hustle?
Lansing was coming off a 4-2 series loss against South Bend, but the last 2 games of the series of the South Bend game, they beat them. Now they're going in. Now they're headed home against Quad City, and the first game, it was back and forth the entire game until the bases were loaded and they kept walking Lugnut players. I think there was like 6 straight walks to make them have 7-4 win against Quad City on Tuesday. That gave them a 3-game win streak. And then the next game, May 13th, they dominate Quad City 15-3. And then May 14th, let me just say, they dominated them again, 12-3. And if you think they wanted to end that on Friday, you were wrong. It looked like Quad City was going to come back and win, but let me be honest, they did. They won 12-9. And so now they went on a 6-game win streak until they lost 8-2 against Quad City the next day. But the next day after that, on 517 day, Lansing's area code number, they won 8-2. Olive Burger night. Yeah, we're the Lugnuts players for Olive Burgers. Let's go.
And so that means people that were at the games when they scored all those runs get free Chick-fil-A in the rewards app. Except for me, I didn't get it because apparently they don't give it out on Sundays. But
it's because they're not open on Sundays, dumbass.
Well, it's good for a week, so they're supposed to give it out on Sundays, so you can still use it on Monday. But I never got it in my rewards app, so I'm cooked.
Well, maybe you should have came on
I should have came
13,
on Friday,
15th.
I should have came. No, actually, why I didn't get it is because I didn't realize that I needed the rewards app until they had already scored 5 runs, and I was like, oh shit, I need to download and start a rewards account, and so that's probably why I didn't get it.
I was joking with one of my coworkers on May 13th. I said, so if the Lugnuts, we have 15-3, so if the Lugnuts have this much, does that mean we get free chicken for 3 straight days?
No. Unfortunately, you're cooked.
But also, on May 15th, also there was something very, very special. In the span of 30 years, it was their 2,000th win in Lugnut history. So, that's also very, very huge. I remember watching them when they were having their 1,500th win. And that was a good squad. I think that was the 2018 squad. So, I mean, props to them. They earned it. But right now, they're not earning shit. But with that, that's the end of the Lugnuts. Right now, they are currently not last in the standings. That is West Michigan. That's last place. To remind you, that's the Tigers affiliate. So all in all Tigers affiliates except for Toledo and Erie are all doing bad.
So 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
4. It's 4.
4.
Oh, I forgot about Lakeland.
Yeah.
Let's send Frambler Valdez down to Lakeland.
Now, let's do MSU baseball. As MSU had some games, I actually watched one today. MSU beat Eastern Michigan 5-2. And they also won the series against Illinois State 2-1. And that gave them a close margin. Let me just say, it was for a tiebreaker. They got into the Big Ten baseball tournament to face first Purdue, the 5 seed. Double elimination, and MSU just put on a show. They started off quick. They started off fast because then near the end, the last 3 innings, Purdue started to come back and come back and come back and come. And I'm just like, they're about to choke it. Well, MSU wins 8-4. That was their first tournament win since 2023. I mean, now they will either face Illinois and Iowa. I think they've already made that official on who they will face. I don't know who they're facing.
Yeah, I think it's Iowa. They're playing Iowa.
So then Iowa will face MSU tomorrow, and then Purdue will face Illinois tomorrow. So right now, the other team that's playing is Michigan and Rutgers. Michigan is currently winning against Rutgers 7-0. And then later on tonight at 10 o'clock, let me see here. I think the last 2 Big Ten teams, Washington and Ohio State, will play. So maybe I'll watch that one. I don't know. To be honest, I want to see Ohio State lose to Washington.
Yeah, we were watching an MSU game. They played good. Almost blew the lead.
Yeah,
they played good.
Yeah. I didn't put it on here on Kalamazoo Growlers, but currently May 25th is opening night for the Kalamazoo Growlers, which means, if you think about it, this gets posted tonight, the way we're recording this?
No, tomorrow.
Yes, Tuesday. Today's tomorrow. Okay, so Wednesday. While we're recording this, it will be 5. Well, when you guys see this, it'll be 5 days. But when we're recording it, it's 6 days till opening night for the Kalamazoo Growls. They'll be taking on the Traverse City Pit Spitters. I do want to remind you guys, Traverse City is also, their owner is the owner of the West Michigan Whitecaps.
Ooh.
So
I know somebody who worked for the Traverse City Pit Spitters, so I have to root for them.
No, you don't have to.
Yes, I do.
The one thing you have to do is
are evil.
Me and Ann are Kalamazoo fanatics. Okay.
I'm not a Kalamazoo Growlers fan, Gary. I hate the Growlers. Their stadium is like probably the worst baseball stadium I've ever been to.
That can't be true.
That can't.
Do you count high school?
They upgraded it.
I went there between last season and this season.
No, I'm talking about they're upgrading it this season. So it'll be newer this year. But yes, I can agree with you that there's.
Last year it was awful.
Yeah.
So I didn't really have any fun.
I don't.
Living in Kalamazoo.
I've never liked their stadium. But shut up, Tyler. Remember all the things you've said multiple times?
What have I said?
Look at the quotes on our Discord. I know all the quotes now that you've said multiple times on Discord.
Yeah, you say shit like, let me find a quote from here. You say, just get ready. Venom, my name is House. Or you'll say,
Venom.
Or you'll say,
my name is House.
Sounds like a skill issue to me. I'd know. I'm the king of skill issues.
True. Well, listen. This is just an objective fact. You're stating statements right now.
It's a family bath with no context. Or if you see me in public, please don't give me a blowjob. Okay, I'm done reading the quotes channel. Anyway. Is it Garry, you got anything more to say on the Growlers? Am I interrupting you? Cool.
No, you're good.
All right. Cool. Is it South Bend Cubs time, Tyler?
Yes.
Oh shit, I forgot about that.
We should have said that during the Midwest.
I know.
part.
I totally
But
forgot that.
I didn't
And
even
went to
realize
that game.
It's all right. I got a couple random baseball odds and ends. So I guess first of all, I went to that Lugnuts game on Friday. First fireworks night, pretty fun, good seats, all that stuff. Back on May 5th, I saw the series opener between the South Bend Cubs and the Lansing Lugnuts in South Bend, Indiana. It was honestly a pretty cool experience. I sat row 1 for like $18. Big wall of pins in the team store. There were in total 18 different pins, plus the pin set that had all the Cubs affiliate pins in the same place. Good pin selection. They didn't have the one I wanted, but they still had a great pin selection. So Tyler got one, I got one. From there. There's a couple different entrances. There's like a kind of a small entrance out front. The main entrances are on the outfield because of where the train tracks and all the other stuff are placed in the big parking lots. Entrances are pretty nice. They do allow for re-entry, which I was surprised by. I didn't need to use it, but it was there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was. But they have re-entry, which is nice. Lots of little random things kind of like going around the concourse. Like the main concourse is really like claustrophobic. There's like a roof over it. It's not, no concourse is ever wide enough by my standards, but it was pretty narrow. But no, behind home plate really felt like a bunker because of the stuff they had going on. There were not, which surprised me, there were not stairs down to every section. There were a couple staircases along the way, and then there was like a secret concourse, kind of like a third of the way down the seating, where you could actually walk to like the other sections that served your section. If that makes any sense. But it was a weird situation that if there were more than 200 people there, I'd be kind of pissed off by that layout. Yeah, the box seating is a little weird. I mean, it's good views, obviously. It's hard to mess up a ring of box seats around the infield, but they did it. So there's that. Very interesting stuff kind of going all the way around. You can walk a full lap, but it's a little bit convoluted. In total, lots of cool stuff though. Lots of apartments in the outfield with like there's even like a little rooftop viewing area, like it's Wrigley and it's cute. But I don't know, basically all the traditions here are just like Wrigley traditions or Cubs traditions or whatever. Like they really lean into their affiliation because they know most of the people going there are Cubs fans anyway. But me, Tigers fan, kind of.
Okay, sorry for that stupid fucking pause. Yeah, my computer decided to shit itself again, as it does every time that we have to do anything time sensitive. So, thankfully, I figured out how to fix the files so we didn't lose all of that recording time. Like I've had to do in the past. So at least there's a way to fix it. Otherwise, I was about to be really pissed. Ann and Garry aren't going to join again just because there wasn't a whole lot left to talk about. That was all Ann had to say regarding South Bend. So we're going to move on. And the only thing I really have to talk about now is the basketball with the NBA playoffs. I made a rant about the Pistons the other day, so we don't need to go too in-depth with that here. But they did not have a good finish to the series. Up 2-0 and they lose 4 out of 5. They lost to the Cavs 117-113 at home in overtime. That included choking a 9-point lead in the final couple minutes of the game and then going ice cold in overtime. So they lost home court, but they rebounded and beat the Cavs on the road in Game 6, 115-94. Which was funny because while I was at that first Tigers game, I was just pretty much checking the Pistons score the whole time. So what the hell was I doing? I don't know. Then it came down to a Game 7 in Detroit, and the Pistons did not show up at all. They put up a giant stinker, losing to the Cavs in a blowout fashion, 125-94, and are officially eliminated from the playoffs. Pretty much everything that I said in that rant covers what happened to the Pistons. Like, it was not... They didn't have a secondary scorer to show up. Really, the whole team didn't show up in Game 7. Not just the bench guys. Even Cade himself didn't really show up. So really, for the Pistons, there's a lot of moves that they have to make in this offseason to really continue to be competitive. And honestly, with how Detroit ownership has been lately, I'm not 100% sure that they're going to do that. But maybe they'll prove me wrong. You know, they need a secondary scorer to Cade. Maybe they get that Evan Mobley guy. 3-point shooter and a big. Just what we need. And Duran, you can kindly fuck off. Very disappointing end of the season. It was a great season, 67 wins. And just even getting this far in the playoffs is awesome, but they should have at least made the finals. You're a 1 seed. You have to at least get to the finals. They weren't injured. They had home court. But they couldn't do it. Going 2-5 on the road doesn't help matters. Or 2-4 on the road doesn't help matters either. Neither does blowing 2 in a row on your home court to lose the series. But such is life, I guess. And, of course, there's James Harden and the refs just doing some terrible calls down the stretch to rig the game against Detroit again. It's just what I'm saying, folks. Yeah. I'm not really too enticed to talk too much more about it just because of the fucking computer problems. I just want to get the fuck to bed. So, that's that. The only other thing I have to say is the Pistons are partnering with Scripps Sports for their broadcasts next season. This is huge because the Pistons will be, again, on free television, just make it tons more accessible. I really thought they were going to go to Detroit Sportsnet, so it's kind of nice that they're not. But it's really, really nice that they're going back to free networks for everybody in Michigan to watch the Pistons next season. I think that's great, especially with the position that the Pistons are in going through the season. So, and then for general NBA action, we are down to the conference finals here as well. The other conference semifinals results and actions. Obviously, the Pistons lost to the Cavs 4-3. The Knicks swept the 76ers 4-0. Really not much of a surprise there. The Spurs had a bit of a scare against the Timberwolves, but held on to win the series 4-2. And the Thunder swept the Lakers 4-0. So now we are down to the conference finals. In the Western Conference Finals, the Game 1 was an absolute classic, double overtime, and the Spurs took Game 1 on the road in Oklahoma City to hand the Thunder their first playoff loss of the season. So Oklahoma City goes down 1-0 in that series. Meanwhile, in the Cavs-Knicks series, they're in the midst of Game 1 of their first round action. In the second quarter, the Knicks are up 38-27. So there is that. A few other things NBA related. Some really sad news. Brandon Clark passed away at the age of 29. Very unexpected and very, very sad. So rest in peace there, buddy. SGA won MVP. Don't care. Foul baiter. Not an ethical player. Not even that good of a player when he doesn't get the calls his way. But he pays the refs, so course, they're going to give him all the calls he wants. I don't like him. And then most recently, just came out a little bit before we started the podcast tonight, the Mavericks fired Jason Kidd after 5 seasons. Pretty big stuff. You know, a lot of stuff going down with Dallas. So them being able to fire their coach, maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be bad. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be bad. I don't care. Mavericks trash. So anyways, that is it. Don't have any other things to cover this week. That's going to do it for this episode. Thankfully, the footage with Ann and Garry is saved and good to go. So it should be good. Next week, we'll cover more NBA and NHL playoffs action, NASCAR action, and some more baseball action. Things are going to start slowing down now with the Pistons done for the year, and a few other things. So maybe we'll dive into some of the bigger topics as we get more into the summer now. Thanks to Ann Pomeroy for coming on. We'll definitely be seeing more of them this summer. So we got a few other awesome things planned. So that's going to do it, though, for this episode. Stay tuned for other much more amazing content. And until next time, we'll see you guys later. Goodbye.